one to be the other.
Okay, so have you heard of the Lynx curse?
There's a Lynx curse?
Yes.
Hey, let me know so I can pray against it.
That any artist that leaves Lynx Entertainment is bound to fail. Have you heard that?
Let me explain this thing so that you guys understand it. Music business is hard. Lynx, like I just mentioned, Lynx Group has over 60 employees. And even us, it is hard.
Okay.
People see the results and think it's easy for us. No, it takes a lot of brainstorming, a lot of work, a lot of investment to keep us where we are. When an artist leaves that setup and they are on their own, it is difficult. They are not cursed. It is difficult. And as you've seen, artists have left Lynx and they do well. But what happens is it's hard to maintain that level, because as opposed to a time when you had 60 people working on your project, you have a team that is going around on the street promoting your music. We have a team that's sitting there working on creatives, a team working on PR, a team working on your visuals. When you leave and you don't have the power to employ as many people, then the work, the input is dropped drastically. So the output is also dropped. But that could be fine. Sometimes we should stop judging some certain things by success.
There is nothing like a Lynx curse. This is coming from the CEO of Lynx Entertainment, that is Richie Mensah. And so today, get a bit deep into that. Some people have the opinion that artists who are signed on to Lynx Entertainment, once they leave, their career, takes a nosedive, and then they are not able to become successful or produce or stand on their own like artists. They only get successful when they are under the record label. But then some also cited examples saying Easy and Miss V, these people sort of, and Asem, these people sort of were struggling once after they left the record label. And so they are a perfect example of what they mean by Lynx curse. But according to the CEO, there's nothing like that. So let me start from you.
You see, if you're an artist and you are under a record label, there are a lot of things that are done for you. Some gigs are booked for you, interviews are booked for you. You do a whole heap of them things there. So all you've got to do is probably go to the studio and make sure you're producing his songs. You leave the rest for the record label to do it. They do the plugins and everything for you. And so for me, if you are an artist and you are under a record label, you're a musician and you are under a record label and you live there and you begin to struggle to make hit songs or to do things on your own, I can understand. Now, if you look at, from the Lynx perspective, yes, there are a number of artists that you can mention that after leaving Lynx Entertainment, they struggle or they've been struggling, with their career. But I also don't want to think that there's something like Lynx curse. I am sure it all has to do with the artists themselves. Yes. If an artist, when you were under the record label, what did you do? Did you establish contacts with people, or you, because you were under a record label, you thought that the world was at your feet? And so because, if you want to speak to those people, look at the way you struggle. And so if you're under a record label and you also don't begin, or if you don't try to establish yourself in there, get the links, speak to people, and you just be there and all of that, when you leave, certainly you're going to struggle. If you are under a record label and you don't sign proper contract, when you leave, you are going to struggle. We saw what happened with Kaki. What happened when Kaki left? Is it High Grade, right? When Kaki left High Grade, where has she been? She's out of the system, all because of the kind of contract she signed under High Grade. But Kaki was a super talented, musician. But what happened? But Kofi Kinata leaves High Grade and he's still doing well. So I think that it has to do with the artists themselves. There was a time when Miss V came to say that, she wants to break that jinx. She tried doing her things and all of that. She brought in a reggae song. I've forgotten the title of it. I think is it back? The sheriff is back or something like that. There was a reggae sheriff in town, new sheriff in town. Very beautiful reggae song. It was played. I mean, it was okay. She had her album, or she has had her album, 1030 album. Still has a single, Destiny. People are playing it, but not so loud out there. I think she's trying her best, but she's not as loud as she was under the record label. And so we have we have had some other artists who have left the record label and they have struggled. So I think that is the main reason why people are saying that there's something like Lynx cares. But I still believe that if an artist and you are there and you do your things right, you still leave Lynx Entertainment and still do well. Let's see. Kwame Eugene leaving Lynx, trying to put things together. I mean, we have had Dope Nation who were under Lynx also for a year or two. Yes, and they left. They have still been able to produce some hit songs. So for me, I don't want to, I want to side with Lynx himself. I mean, Richie Mensah, that there's nothing like Lynx cares. And if we are a record label and the people leave your label and they struggle to survive, if it's not been well twice or 3, 4, and it keeps happening, I think you, the record label, you would also be worried about it. I'm sure that is why he also doesn't want to believe the Lynx cares.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wooly, let me come to you. Quick one on that. And then
I think it is possible to have a case. When they say a case, it's not as in something that would not work, because this is not like something that has happened once. It happened with Asem when Asem left. We saw OJ Black, we saw Easy, we saw
Bebe.
Miss V, we saw a couple of guys who left the label. I can say probably Dope Nation could be one that survived that phase, because before they were even being signed to the label, they were already doing their thing. They had their hit songs out there before they were signed onto a label. But I think when they say there's a Lynx case, I think there are lots of artists, when they go to Lynx, they feel a bit relaxed because the label does almost everything for you. So you're like a magajia, let me put it right. That would be the word to use. You are like a magajia. Your food is being bought for you. You are going for interviews. You are not even picking any proper relationship with
People in the industry.
Yes, so everything is done for you. So when you are done going back or approaching them to have that kind of relationship with them, it's a struggle. It's going to be a very long thing for you to do, unless you have the right people around you to promote your music. I think that has been the issue. So when they say a Lynx case, it comes in two forms. Like I've given you, it could happen that the artist is struggling to connect with the media because he or she doesn't have the first-hand experience of dealing with the media itself. The person doesn't have the plugins to call and say, oh, Hetty, this is my new artist song, so please play on your show. You receive some birthday cake soon or something like that. All those things you don't have knowledge on, because previously on your birthday or on the person's birthday, the label is actually doing some things for you have no knowledge on. Or the other alternative could be that there could be some senior man mafiaism that happens. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be that probably the label boss or those in the label already have the plugs that put you there. So if you are no more there, they can take their plugs out. So the plugs that might have received your song some years ago would try and linger, because the artist is not under Lynx Entertainment. It's not that Lynx have forced the people to take, but the plugs will go out because they feel you are not under the wings of whoever is being good, cordial with us or whatever. So you would have to also start building your own plugs. And building plugs is not a joke. You would need a proper industry head to lead and do those things for you. And I think that has been the challenge. So if you tell me a Lynx case, yes, it is a case because it is it is in a form that if you are not able to work according to what the machinery has. Like, it's the machinery that they are using. So if you don't have that machinery, you need to build your own. And building is a challenge. So if the label was that, the label would have done it for you that easy. But now it is you yourself. So how do you go forward? What is the way forward? And it makes it look like a curse, but it's not. It's a curse. Let me say it that way.
All right, it's a curse. This is coming from Richard Kobe Willie.